Hey, this is Brian Elaine with CrowdScribed, and this is 6.5 Questions with Peter Greer. Is it Peter David Greer?
It's Peter Keith Greer.
Okay, very good. Peter's the author of a few books, including his most recent, The Spiritual Danger of Doing Good. Peter, thanks for being here.
It's fun to be with you again, Ryan.
Awesome. All right, question number one. This most recent book wasn't the first one that you've written, but was there anything different about putting this book together?
Yeah, this is the third book that I've worked on, and the first one was The Poor Will Be Glad, and it very much was a more of a technical book about microfinance and about equipping the church to respond to global poverty in a way that doesn't create entitlement or dependency and really introduces the concept of microfinance. The second one is a children's book about international adoption. Mommy's Heart Went Pop. And so this one is very, each book has been very, very different, but this one, The Spiritual Danger of Doing Good, is much more personal than anything that I've ever written about before, and it talks about a lot of the pitfalls that come with those of us that try to do good and how it actually can harm ourselves. And so it's a very personal account of a lot of my own failures, how I almost destroyed my marriage in the process of doing good, how easy it is to justify moral lapses that seem really small at the time because of all the good you're doing. And so very much this book had to have my wife's write-off
Yeah,
on
I bet.
the stories that I was telling, but hopefully it's a personal account that I hope will help some other people avoid some of the dangers that come with doing good that I've experienced.
Yeah. Question number two. This book was co-written with Anna Haggard, and I've seen that your next one will be as well. How has that process of co-writing been for you?
I have never written a book on my own, and I never plan to. So the first one was written by Phil Smith. The second one, Christina Colon, and it was her idea and her origination of that one. And then this one with Anna Haggard has just been a gift. And the next one with Chris Horst and Anna Haggard as well. So I very much I still don't. Have any desire to do a project on my own. I see these as collaborative works that are so much better because I'm able to bounce ideas off of people and very much not just send it to an editor, but throughout the process to be sharpening each other and to be working on things. So I am a part-time author. My full-time job is president and CEO of Hope International. And so very much this is, I send a lot of stories, a lot of content, a lot of idea creation. But I could not have done this most recent book without Anna's help.
All right, question number three. What are your ideal writing conditions?
Almost all of the writing that I do is on an airplane. I am an unfriendly traveler, but I've gotten into the habit when I get on and when we reach 10,000 feet, the earbuds are in, the laptop is out, it's already ready to go. And that's where I do the vast majority of my writing is when I'm traveling around the world.
Wow, and so you travel enough that it's not just a sporadic thing for you.
No, my job has me traveling a whole lot. So, this fall it's almost every week I'll be going somewhere, and I really try to reserve that time when I'm on the plane. Not for the DVDs or not for the movies that are coming out. I'd rather watch that with my wife when I'm home. So really try to crank out the writing. I've got two batteries on my laptop, both the extended version, and so almost everywhere I can have enough battery power to keep productively writing on the flights.
And is there music in the earbuds or just white noise?
No, there always is music in the earbuds. Yeah,
With,
and so
yeah, with lyrics as well? That doesn't
yes.
bother you?
It doesn't, but it's got to be music that I know. I can't listen to new music when I write. It's got to be music that I know so well that it's there. So just personally, Sleeping at Last, that is constantly on
Yeah.
repeat. And there's a Passion CD, White Flag, that is the other one. So between those two, that's what I listen to almost exclusively when I write.
Okay. Question number four. You keep an updated blog. I'm curious how much of that is kind of a forced attempt to stay engaged with the community and building a platform, and how much of that is just your desire to share your thoughts and to connect with people that way.
Yeah, I have far more ideas to write about. So the content isn't a problem. I've got a running list of things that I'd love to blog about. The key is making it a priority, especially when I'm trying to do the other writing projects. So doing both of those at the same time is a challenge. And so, like when I have a deadline, a blog gets gets put to the back burner.
Yeah.
But I also find that the blog is a great way for me to put the content that I don't include in a book that I've already written about. It's a great way to recycle that. That might be an interesting story. It might be something interesting, but didn't fit with the current writing project.
Question number 5. Of the last 10 books that you've purchased, how many have been digital versus print?
Zero digital, all print.
Wow.
I know there are ways around it, but I still love to. When I'm on digital, I find myself distracted because whether it's my iPad, my wife is a full Kindle user, but I still love having the real
Yep.
book in my hands. I still love having a pen. I still love underlining, and then I also love passing them on. So my wife and I used to have a ton of books in our house. Now they're almost all at the Hope International Library,
Yep.
and I really like being able to pass them on. So I'm old school in the books that I purchase.
All right, question number 6. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. Is there a book that you've read this past year that you think we should read too, other than your own, of course?
um, oh man, there are two that stand out. I don't
Okay,
know if I'm allowed to do
go for it.
two, but the first one I really enjoy Jeff Schinneberger's book Enough that he did, and in particular the social experiments that cause us to take a step back and to realize how much we have, and the recognition that man we all have enough. There it is.
There it
I
is.
love it. I'm sorry, more enough. Right?
More
That
or
was the
less. Yep.
previous, yeah, more or less, right? And the second one, Tyler Wigg Stevenson's How Not, The World Is Not Ours to Save. Fantastic book from someone who's trying to abolish nuclear weapons. And third one, I'm sorry, this one is very popular. Many people have already read it, but Bob Goff and Love Does. I really like the. I don't want to read a book just to read it for information. I like books that I can experience with the author, and I felt like his writing style allowed me to experience his stories that got the point across in a very effective way.
Okay, finally, question number 7. How many cups of coffee in your average day?
I start out my day with a cup of coffee, and this maybe is a little bit more information than you want, but we have a Keurig machine at our office here at Hope International,
Yeah.
and so I'm known as the guy who reuses the Keurig machine. So if there's a cup that's already in there, I'll get another half a cup. So if you water that down, I probably do that twice. That probably is equivalent of another half a real cup of coffee. So
Nice.
one real cup and then some watered down versions throughout the day.
That's efficient. Well, Peter, we love the work that you do with Hope International, and folks can find you online at peterkgreer.com. Is that right?
That's correct.
Awesome. And to connect with readers and authors, find great books, and maybe even publish one of your own, you can visit CrowdScribed.com. Thanks so much for your time, Peter.
Thanks for having me, Brian.